Hi, I'm Joan Newcomb, and today's Mystic Minute is coexisting with lower frequencies. We have a very linear perception of life on Earth. We think of things going from the past to the future, and we also think of things going from lower to higher. Higher is good, lower is bad. Sometimes denser is real and denser is good, and lighter vibration is flaky and not real or bad or fantasy. Anything that has a judgment on it, a label on it, is through the lens of body personality, physical level stuff, and isn't accurately what's going on. I have had a series of amusing events specifically to do with banks and bank accounts and transferring amounts and all sorts of things like that. And I realize it's really because of the shift that I'm going through that this is manifesting. It has more to do with my higher and shifting vibration than the facts that present themselves. I had to call my banks today, two different banks I was trying to set up an external transfer with, and explain a dilemma that was going on. And I got very upset with the first one because she couldn't understand what was going on. She could see what was on her view screen, but she didn't understand my explanation. I called my second bank, which came in as very clear, and they'd actually been the bank I'd had difficulty with last week. This week, I had very clear explanation. I got to see that it wasn't going on their end. So I had to call the first bank back again. Call the first bank back, and I created a completely different experience. I talked with somebody else who had a better understanding of what was going on. And as she was talking to me, she said, "Please bear with me. My computer is slow. It's doing updates." And I had this instant image of the density of technology and the lightness of consciousness. And just like computers get slowed down while they're doing updates, which are really meant to help things go quicker and more smoothly, the experience at the moment is kind of like a big snafu, kind of like things not working, things disappearing, data getting lost. And I had this great sense of myself in the lighter, higher vibration that I'm feeling right now, communicating to my creation of the other person on the other end. And it's just kind of a sense of here's the denser molecules vibrating more slowly, and here's the lighter molecules moving effortlessly through. As consciousness, you are the lighter, brighter, effortless aspect. Your form, your body personality, any stories going on in the storyline are part of the denser aspect. You can coexist with it. There actually isn't any direction in terms of consciousness, so there really isn't any up or down or in or out or from side to side or any of those things. You can weave your way through the reality and not resist the density as it comes at you. There's a way that you can be more expansive and density can just pass through. When we get into this higher state of awareness, when we begin to bring in consciousness more fully, sometimes our first reaction is that we need to separate from anything that is dense. We need to avoid difficult situations or difficult people or people vibrating at the bottom of the fish tank. Ooh, we don't want to be in those dark circumstances. That desire to do that is not coming from consciousness, it's actually coming from your body personality. The thing is that as you start to vibrate at a higher vibration, the things that are not in harmony will dissipate. So you won't have interactions with people who are at a denser vibration. They won't show up in your hologram. They will be more distant to you. Friends disappear, circumstances change. And you're creating it all as consciousness. When dense circumstances show up, it's like a revisitation, but it's an opportunity for you to respond differently. And you can effortlessly change your experience in it as easily as hanging up the phone and calling back, stepping out of the room and stepping back into it. Nothing is black and white anymore. If you're viewing things as black and white or good or bad, high or low, in or out, effortful, dense, or judging the effort and density, you're still operating through your personality. If you're seeing the whole thing as this really amusing game and, oh my goodness, look, we could try something else. If you're feeling playful about it, if you're feeling buoyant about it, if you're amused, even at things that might have been uncomfortable for you before, you're right on track. So the main thing is to do whatever it takes, do whatever you can do to be out of resistance and to be out of effort with whatever is going on. Whether it is surrendering to the circumstances, admitting you're powerless over crazy people, places, and things, stepping into your awareness of consciousness and seeing everything as a really amusing movie, a fun game that you're in. Shifting your perspective to that way, you're going to have such an easier time of it. It's going to feel so much more fun. So try these for the next few days and see what happens. And if you like these videos, you can subscribe to them on YouTube, or you can sign up to get them in your inbox. If you want to know more, my website is joan-newcomb.com. I put out a weekly radio show and podcast. I do these videos a couple times a week. I write a weekly blog and e-zine you can sign up for. I have meetups around the Puget Sound in Seattle, Tacoma, Bellevue, sometimes Olympia. And I have a 12-week to transformation program you might be interested in. It'll help you regain your purpose and your passion and learn how to navigate life with consciousness techniques. So if you want to know more, go to my website, joan-newcomb.com, and I'll be back with another Mystic Minute in a couple of days.